That's another decision, but I have time. The first two moves, 1, 2, I have no time. This move is quick. Now I think about what I know. What style do I do? What techniques am I comfortable with? I move right into it, and I have them. This is our right punch, and this is some of the techniques that we can use against it. The next common punch that could be thrown is a hook. It's not the most effective. The first two punches are more damaging and quicker, but a lot of people punch in a circular manner. We have two effective ways of dealing with this. The first one is from our fighting position, is using the double block. The second is to not block at all and just immediately strike. The way this works is that if a person's coming around and you shoot straight in, you're going to get there first. So if I'm here and he punches and I move in and hit him in the throat point over here, conception vessel 22, I'll knock him right out of the box. He won't be anywhere near me. Of course, I need to be fast and my timing has to be good on that one. That's why we train with both. So the first one we're going to do is from our regular fighting position. He comes in the circle, 2 hands will just block. So I'll go really slow, 1, 2. Now block is kind of the wrong word because I'm actually attacking the points on his arm. Let me see the other arm. I'm looking for the lung 5 point near the elbow joint, the lung 6 point in the center of the forearm, and the pericardium 2 point right in the center of the bicep. Now, being that he's punching me very fast, I can't pick which ones I'm going to hit. By using 2 hands to defend or strike, I'm pretty much guaranteed I'm going to hit at least one, if not both. So as I'm here, this time I hit his wrist and I hit the point on the bicep, which was fine. Once I make here, I follow up with my technique, which will be my chop to the side of the neck at the large intestine 18 point, directly center between the ear and the shoulder, and center from the front to the back. So dead straight. So as he throws his punch, 1, and chop across. Once I get him to this position, I grab his wrist and I bring him down. Once I get to that position, I have my choice of anything that I want to do. So we're here, I chop, I grab. From this position, I pass from one hand to the other, and I just step forward and bring him down. If I don't want to do that particular technique, and I decide I want to throw him, I walk behind, sweep him out, use my thumb behind triple warmer 17, behind the jaw, pin him to the ground. All right? So that one more time. He comes in with his hook, I defend, I strike, and I bring him down and pin him. If he's exceptionally slow, or if I see it coming, instead of placing 2 hands to defend, I immediately shoot into the neck. So I'm doing the same defense, but instead of coming to the side, 1 hand shoots towards his neck, and I'm aiming for the stomach 9 point. So as he comes in with his punch, I attack. From here, I could do any of the moves we did before, or I could just twist his neck and bring him over. Obviously, if you do a lot of joint locks in your style or in your system, that's what you'll follow with. If you do a lot of striking, that's what you'll follow with. So if he throws the hook, after I hit him, if I want to strike, I could come to the temple area with my palm, or I could come to the inside of his thigh point, dead center, spleen 11, and bring him across to set him up for a throw or another takedown. Ready? One more time with that one. All right, I hit, shoot across. If I want to follow up with another knee, we can hit the ribs, or we can continue by twisting his head, or one of the previous techniques that we've done. The other option is to immediately go for the strike, meaning forget that the arm is coming at all and just move right in and hit. This arm will be here to protect me, but it'll only protect me if I make contact with him, which means if I miss this, this won't be enough to stop the punch. This is the key. My front hand coming to his jaw stops that punch. This is here just to make sure that the hand doesn't touch me. All right, so let's just switch sides for this one. So timing's important. He punches, I move in and hit him. Immediately, we follow up with the chop, so large intestine 18, or we follow up with a choking technique, or a throw, or a joint lock that we've shown before. But the key is speed. We're here, move in immediately. I don't want to hit him again, so I'll go a little slower. Once you strike him, that takes all the power out of this arm. It allows you to follow up with other techniques. This is our hook punch defense. We're going to concentrate now is how to defend against kicks. Most common kick thrown is going to be a front kick, shooting straight up the center. When I face my opponent, as he comes up with the kick, I'm going to shift in a circle away from him. Let's go on the other side so they can see the circle. All right, as he comes up, I shift and make him miss. While he's kicking, ready? I'm going to kick underneath the back of his leg. By doing that, when he puts his foot down, he's going to be extremely off balance. So he comes up with his kick, and I kick myself. From here, I would either move in with my hands to strike, or I would come with my own kick to either the bladder points, where your belly button is, or to the rib points on the side of the waist. So he comes in with his kick, shift, kick, and shoot up, or strike. If I kick this hard enough, he will fall. We're not going to do that because safety-wise, I can injure him. But as I come around, a really hard shot here, he can fall over backwards. So the follow-ups will be a little different for that. All right? So we'll go one more time, half speed, kick, shoot in for a strike, gallbladder 20, palm strike, perfect shot, give him a tap there. Or follow up with your own kick or your own knee strike, possibly to the side of the leg, the gallbladder 31 point where your finger touches. That controls his entire balance. Second defense for the front kick, if you don't like the kick or your legs aren't that fast, is to use the rear hand and catch it. So we're going to step out and catch. He comes up, catch. From here, I can either sweep him down or turn a little bit. I could go into the stomach 11 and 12 points in the collarbone and press to bring him down. All right, so let's show them one more time. All right, so he comes up, I shift, press, bring him down. From this position, I can strike. I could go for a foot lock, right? I could go for a knee bar. There's tons of stuff that I can do. All right, let's try it one more. Let's do it from the other angle. All right, I move out, catch, fingers shoot in. Just look up so they can see it. Fingers shoot in to the collarbone and down, and control them. That's how we deal with front kicks. For the next kick we're going to defend is going to be the roundhouse kick. 80% of all kicks thrown in any fighting situation is a roundhouse kick. That's a statistic, which means it's very likely that that kick is going to be the kick of choice. Roundhouse kick, the good news is, comes around. The problem is sometimes it's going to come low, sometimes it's going to come high. Your defense will be slightly different. Let's do the one that comes to the waist or high first. And what we're going to do is actually catch it by moving in, and we're going to press to the throat point at CV22 to drop him to the ground quickly before he can counter or pull his leg. So as he throws his kick, don't do it yet, we're going to step forward to limit the power of the kick, circle the arm, catch it, fingers into the throat, press him to the ground. So we'll do the first one slow. We move in, catch it. Fingers immediately to the throat. If I wanted to hurt him, I would do it quick. And I just push. Bringing him down. Obviously, there's a lot of targets we could take from here, but we're not going to do that right now. Ready? Let's try that one more time. Come from the other angle. This way. All right. Now, if I stay here, throw your kick. This is going to hurt because I'm going to take the impact. Even if I catch it, not so good. Always move forward. I move in, I catch it. I took some impact, but it was nothing like it would have been at the end of the kick. Fingers into the throat point. Bring him down, maintain control of the leg. From here, it would be very easy to shift into a grappling situation and pin his lower body. Right. Second defense, if he kicks a little bit lower. If he's coming low, do it slow. I'm not going to lean down and try to catch it. I'm going to take my front foot and stop it before it even starts. Then I'm going to throw my own kick to the bladder points. There are 3 points below the belly button in a straight line. Bladder 3, 4, and 5. So as we're here, 1, and throw my own kick up. All right, so one more time, he comes in, stop it, throw my own kick up the middle. If I decided I didn't want to throw the kick, I would stop it, twist his head, and go for a takedown or a throw. So that's one option. Let's try that one more time. I use my front foot, I stop him at the hip joint, twist him over, and follow up immediately. All right, so roundhouse kick. A lot of times you're facing your opponent and you're not in a defensive position, you're actually looking to attack, but you don't want to just walk into one of his punches. So what we're going to do now is a couple of entry techniques that get you past his arms, strike points on the arms which will weaken the rest of his body and set up a knockout or another pressure point shot. If he's in his fighting stance and he's not moving towards me, but I don't want to just walk in and have him hit me. Using my front hand, I'm going to use my back fist and I'm going to strike the triple warmer 3-point by his pinky. So as I'm here, I'll flick it out. His hand opens and it just gives him a little bit of pain. As soon as I make contact here, this hand is going to chop on the large intestine 10 and 11 points, which will help numb his arm, but it will also turn his body, setting up the gallbladder 20-point for the knockout. All right? So as he's here, I can't quite get inside. I knuckle, I hit, and I chop. Okay? Now, I hit him a little bit there, and he felt the effects of it. Hard shots, he would go immediately down. The key is to get the first 2 points very quickly. So that I don't injure him, I'm not going to knuckle him anymore. I'm also not going to chop him. I'm going to slap and slap. And this is how you should practice it. So as I'm here, 1, 2, 3. Know that real situation, knuckle, chop, and chop. All right? So we'll do one more time just with the slaps. 1, 2, 3. By putting his arm across his body, it prevents him from punching with the other arm. So if I'm here, he can still punch me. Go back. Now punch me. He cannot. So just by crossing his arm, he cannot punch me for that instant. All right? So one more time. As we're here, as long as I can reach him, right? I can't reach his face, he can't reach my face. As long as I can reach his hand, I could gain entry. 1, 2, and strike. Now, the opposite is to go to the inside. Using the 4 knuckles, the same knuckles you would knock on a door with. We're going to hit either the pericardium point, 2 inches above the wrist, I'll show it on him, or the lung 8 or the heart 5 point. So you have 3 points in a row. You could hit any of them. And all we want to do is tap it, just like that. And we're going to follow that tap with a chop to either large intestine 18 on the side of the neck or stomach 9 on the front, depending on how much he turns his shoulders. So again, I can't reach him, he can't reach me, but I can easily reach his hand. Knuckle and move in for the strike. Ready? Turn this way. All right, so at a distance, we can't reach each other. Knuckle, move in, strike, and I can follow up right from there. Another entry technique that I like to use is to switch my hands. If I switch hands, if he's got really good reflexes, he's going to defend my punch. He's going to defend. As soon as he defends, that's when I throw my kick. So really, all I'm doing is switching my hands and kicking. But because he thinks I'm about to punch him, when I make that switch, he defends. As soon as he goes to defend that, he doesn't see what's coming below. And we strike to the points below the belly button. So we're here, I move around with him a little bit, I defend and throw my kick. And that's how I gain my entry. All right? Defend, throw my kick. So these are 3 ways to get inside your opponent in an offensive manner. At the advanced level of martial arts, we start learning techniques that are a little different from the ordinary. One of them is the power slap, which is what we're going to do now. Sometimes it's referred to as the iron palm. A power slap is using the palm area to strike, but it's not using the palm heel like when we hit the jaw. It's using the center of the palm in a slapping motion. It's different from a slap in the sense that we're not hitting with the fingers. What we're trying to do is send a vibration through the person. So it's used best on areas such as the skull or across the chest, areas that are firm, as opposed to the stomach or the legs. The way we practice it, it's a completely relaxed technique, meaning that the wrist needs to move. It can't be stiff. So what we're going to do is, we need a partner for this. A partner will tell you whether you're doing it properly. If you just hold the target, you'll hear a loud sound, but you won't know. So we have the partner hold the target on his chest. Through the 3 inches of foam, if we can slap it and he can feel it, you know that you're doing it properly. So I'm going to have Dusan hold the target, and we're going to demonstrate it. What we want to do is loosen the wrist each time. Let's turn a little bit so they can see the wrist. Loosen the wrist and slap. A regular slap would be like that, would be nothing. From here, I'm going to turn my waist and imagine that I'm shooting energy through his body and out the other side. Of course, I'm not doing that, but if I keep that in my mind, my hand will do the proper thing.